What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I am back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be bringing you guys a guide video on how to beat the brand new Fortnite that was announced, being Count Butler. Now, before we get into today's video, guys, my voice might sound a little bit different. I am a little bit sick at the moment, but I really wanted to get this video out to you guys before the Fortnite does get released on Tuesday/Wednesday. And it's actually really cool. Fortnite does have a Legend skill book within it as well, but it's really cool. We're getting all of these film gold or film-related, One Piece film-related Fortnites, which is really cool, meaning that we could have a really high chance of getting a lot of other future movie content, which is actually going to be really great for the future of global One Piece Treasure Cruise, as a lot of the film content that is in One Piece Treasure Cruise is actually really good, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. So before we get into today's video, guys, if you guys do go on to enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So first of all, let's go ahead and break down the new units of this Fortnite dungeon. Number one being Count Butler of Ruling Power. He's a 4-star unit that evolves from a droppable 3-star unit, and he is an int-driven powerhouse character. Now at max level at level 99, he has 2,152 health, 1,100 attack, and 220 recovery, so some pretty decent stats for a 4-star unit. And he has 20 cost and 2 socket spots. Now his captain effect will boost the attack of driven characters by 1.75, and then boost the attack of powerhouse characters by 1.5. Now the interesting thing about this captain effect is that if they are both driven and a powerhouse character in one, they get 1.75 times 1.5. So it's around about like 2.6 times or something like that. It's actually really cool. But the thing is that there aren't that many units that are both driven and powerhouse. So you can't really utilize this captain effect to its fullest potential. But nonetheless, it is still a decent captain ability. It can be used in some instances, but there are just better units that will provide a better captain effect than what Count Butler does. Now his special, which starts at 23 turns and maxes at 14 turns, will boost his own attack for 1.3 times for 5 turns, reduce damage received by 20% for 5 turns, and then deal 13 times this character's attack as int damage to one enemy. Not a really usable effect, really. It's not that great of a special, because when you activate this and it boosts his own attack, I'm pretty sure you can't activate any other buff to your team that will boost your attack or anything like that. So to be honest, it's not the greatest captain ability, or not really the greatest special either. So to be honest, he's not probably a unit that you really want to try and spend gems to try and max out. So now let's go ahead and break down the second unit, being President Hebe. Now this guy here is a 3-star unit and is a quick slasher driven character, and at max level at level 70 he has 1,221 health, 799 attack, and 203 recovery. He has a cost of 15 and only one single socket spot. Now he doesn't actually have a captain effect, but his special, which starts at 19 turns and will max at 10 turns, changes the orbs in the left column to recovery, quick, and dex, and then binds himself for 2 turns. Honestly, even if you did have level 2 anti-chain sockets, this special isn't really that great. Honestly, it's just not a really great orb manipulator. You know, recovery, quick, and dex, not really used that often, honestly, in that sort of formation. So there really isn't much use for this guy as a unit in general. Moving on now, we have General Hot Dog, and this guy here is a 3-star unit and is a dex fighter driven character. And at max level, at level 70, he has 1,147 health, 890 attack, and 181 recovery, so some pretty average stats again. He has a cost of 15 and only one single socket spot. Now he doesn't actually have a captain effect either, and his special, which starts at 19 turns and will max at 10 turns, boosts attack against delayed enemies by 1.2 times for 1 turn. This special can see some use, but it's just the fact that Monet is just overall a better unit than what General Hot Dog is, because Monet will give you, I think it's a 1.3 times boost against delayed enemies, but Monet will actually also delay them as well, so you're getting the best of both worlds with Monet compared to General Hot Dog. So to be honest, General Hot Dog isn't that great, not that great stats, really can't see much use. He only has one socket spot, so he doesn't really give much in the socket department either. So overall, not really the best of units to try and max out in this Fortnite either. Moving on to the last new unit of this Fortnite is a brand new Tony chopper called Animal King. Now, it's kind of weird that we're getting another hidden boss that is another chopper 2 Fortnites in a row, but nonetheless, this guy here is a Psy Fighter powerhouse character and does drop as a 4-star unit, and at max level at level 70, he has 1,154 health, 719 attack, and 280 recovery. His captain effect will boost the attack of powerhouse characters by 2 times and recover 2 times his character's recovery in HP at the end of every turn, so it's kind of like an Eneru captain ability, kind of okay. And his special, which starts at 16 turns and will max at 6, binds himself for 1 turn and makes perfects easier to hit for 2 turns. You know, this can see some use, but to be honest, he doesn't add any other effects aside from letting perfects be easier to hit. So it's not really the best. If he had some sort of some other cider effect, like that would boost attack of a certain unit or would recover some HP or something, that might be okay. But just for the due fact that he only will make perfects easier to hit, doesn't make this guy that good for his special. His captain ability might see some use if you want to run some sort of powerhouse team that needs a bit of recovery, but, you know, 3-day 2-year Sanji just fulfills that role so much better than what Chopper does in this situation. But overall, a pretty okay unit. You know, it can be used, but to be honest, everyone knows 3-day 2-year Sanji is the better captain effect, and his special isn't really that great either. Probably not worth maxing out, but if you guys need some sort of recovery for powerhouse teams, this is sort of there, but is really not the best unit to try and max out for that sort of situation. Now let's go ahead and start breaking down the different stages of this dungeon. Now, a little bit different from other Fortnights, this is actually an 8-stage dungeon, which is a little bit interesting. And another thing to note is that there is no condition for this Fortnite dungeon either, meaning you can bring any type of unit or any type of team that you would like in order to try and beat this dungeon, which is really cool. Now on stage 6 in particular, you'll encounter President Hebe, and he has 430,000 health, and he will attack you every single turn for 3,564. Now he does have a preemptive attack that will apply a shield of 100,000, so meaning that you have to deal over 100,000 in order to actually do decent damage to him. He also changes slots of your characters depending on their attributes. So if you have a strength character, all of those characters on your teams will be changed into dex slots. Dex characters will get a quick orb, quick characters will get a strength orb, side characters will get a tandem orb, and int characters will get an empty orb. Now, after his first 2 attacks, he will also heal 250,000 HP after those first 2 turns. And that'll put him up way past full, and then also his defense shield will actually disappear after the first 2 turns as well. So, basically, if you don't have a fixed damage dealer, you're going to have to wait like 2 or 3 turns before you can actually take this guy down, making it a little bit harder to try and speed clear this dungeon, but overall, he's actually not really that hard. He does actually hit for a decent amount though. 3,564 is pretty decent, but if you have a fixed damage dealer, you can just kill him off upon entering the dungeon anyway, and that's probably the best way in order to beat stage 6. Now moving on now to stage 7, we have General Hot Dog. Now this guy here has 500,000 health, and he has an attack power of 6,912, and he will attack you every 2 turns. Now he does have a preemptive attack that will chain your captain for 3 turns and then convert the middle row slots into bother orbs. But other than that, he doesn't actually do anything. So you get 2 turns to try and take him down. Obviously, if you guys have the anti-bind socket, that is highly recommended to have the max level for that for speed clearing this dungeon. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until you get unchained, and of course, you're probably going to be taking damage at that point. He does have 500,000 health, so most teams with a level 3 anti-bind should be able to take down this guy in 2 turns before he attacks. He doesn't have any other effect, even when his HP falls below 20%. Doesn't have any other effect, only the preemptive attack is his sort of other side effect, but other than that, he'll just attack you every 2 turns. Now, once you take down General Hot Dog on stage 7, you will encounter on stage 8 Count Butler in his animal form. Now, this guy here has 1.208 million HP, and he'll attack every 3 turns for 12,020 damage. Now, he has a preemptive attack that will apply a delay protector for 98 turns, and then seal the specials of shooter and strikers for 3 turns. Now, I'm not too sure if this is actually in global as of yet, but in this Fortnite, there is sort of a special effect that can be applied that will make sure that your specials cannot be activated for a specific amount of turns and on specific characters. So you can see here, there with the preemptive attack, that he will seal the specials of shooters and strikers for 3 turns, which is quite interesting. It actually is quite interesting. I'm not too sure why shooters and strikers specifically, but those units cannot activate their specials for 3 turns. And then, when his HP falls below 30%, he'll deal 15,000 damage and then seal all the specials for 2 turns. So, that's quite interesting as well. But overall, with a really powerful side team, you should be able to take this guy down within 3 turns. Obviously, you'll have special effects that will be able to apply in order to take it down. And, with the right team, 12,000 damage is actually quite a fair amount, so you got to make sure you have a decent amount of HP, and you cannot delay him either. So he's actually quite a tough boss to take down. So overall, he actually can be a little bit tricky for some of the low-level players, but for the high-level players that will have some pretty decent side units, they should find this dungeon reasonably easy. So now let's talk about the hidden stage, and the hidden stage is of course Chopper, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, and this guy here has 220,000 HP, and he'll attack you every single turn for 3,004, and that's exactly what he does. He doesn't do anything else but attack you every single turn for 3,004 attacks. So overall, pretty simple, doesn't have that much HP, so you can take him out with a lot of different teams, but overall, pretty simple, not really much to note on the hidden stage of this fortnight. Now that we've broken down the stages, let's go ahead and have a look at the notable drops that you can get within this brand new Fortnite dungeon. So let's go ahead and have a look at these skill books. Number one being the rare chance to drop Strong World Shank skill books, which it's actually an amazing special. It really does suck that it is such a high cooldown, even at max, 20 turns at max. But to be able to reduce defense to 0, I'm pretty sure it's for 2 turns. It's really, really powerful special, and it does a lot of side damage as well. So it's a really nice special to have. Really good. Only need 5 skill ups, but it is a really rare chance to drop. Next is Virgo. The Virgo finally getting skill books. He actually has an amazing special as well, and maxes at 12 turns as well, which is also really, really good. And then you have Lao G. Even though this guy has a really cool special as well, again, being such a high cooldown makes it, a little bit annoying, but overall it is actually a really decent special. Now, Koala skill books is a little bit interesting because in the Japanese version of this Fortnite dungeon, this was originally the Strong World Frankie skill book. Now, I think that they're changing it up because they don't want to give us Strong World books so soon, just because we are about to get them on global, but Koala skill books is still pretty good for all of you guys that didn't max out Koala the first time around. You get another opportunity to do that, and she has an amazing special, especially because Jinbei, the Legend Jinbei, is coming out as well. So this guy is, this girl, Koala, is amazing for Jinbei Legend teams. She's so good. 1.75 boost to fighters for 1 turn. It is a very, very powerful special for those Jinbei teams. Moving on from that, there is also the brand new Chopper, the hidden stage. Chopper is also available to get his skill books in the dungeon as well. Also, the story mode Frankie that they give you after clearing, I'm pretty sure it's Eddie's Lobby or Water 7, you get that Frankie, and this is the actual Frankie skill books for that. Also, Hamburg from Foxy's Island, he's not really that great, honestly, and the Cerberus from Thriller Bark as well also has the skill books available as well. Now let's go ahead and break down some free-to-play teams you guys can use out there in order to beat this Fortnite dungeon. So the first team here is a free-to-play side team that utilizes a double GARP lead. Now the subunits for this actual team, it really can vary. Honestly, it really doesn't matter what units you're going to bring, as long as they're Psy units, of course. Mr. 2, I would highly recommend as well, because he's able to change the food orbs from your GARP special into Psy orbs, which will help out immensely on the damage department. Also, you've also got Impact Usopp, and you've also got the Story Mode Enderu. Now, those guys will get their specials sealed because of the last stage and how the boss actually works. So even though they do get sealed for 3 turns, and after you take the first attack from Count Butler, you will then be able to use their specials. So it really doesn't matter which one you bring, either one of them is going to be fine, but the thing is that Enderu has really, really good stats. The Usopp, the Impact Usopp, has a higher damage multiplier with his special, so it really doesn't matter which one you're going to bring. And the last unit really can vary as well, as long as it is a Psy unit, of course, and it really doesn't matter, really. As long as you have Mr. 2, I would highly recommend Mr. 2, and either one of Impact Usopp or Story Mode Enderu. Next up is a free-to-play slasher team. Now this team obviously is going to be able to clear a lot of content. You've got the Double Mihawks as your leads, because their special just will cut automatically 50% of the enemy's HP, which is super, super awesome. Then you've also got the Coffin Boat for extra HP. You've got the Momonga there because if you use this special on the last stage after a 50% health cut, and if you have Doflamingo there, and if he does have a yellow orb on Momonga, then you'll most likely be able to kill off the enemy, the Count Butler, in a single turn. But Brook is there. Now the reason why Brook is there is because Brook is actually used on the President Hebe stage. Now, President Hebe, as you guys saw on stage 6, will actually go ahead and have a defense of 100,000 shield, and it means that you pretty much will not be able to clear him off in that 1 turn. But if you use Brook on that stage, Brook will actually poison the enemy. I think he poisons anyway, and it does some sort of poison effect, and you'll be able to clear him after the first turn, which is awesome. And he also recovers a little bit of HP as well, which is always nice. Now, the last unit there really can vary depending on what you really want to bring. You could bring another Psy Slasher if you want to. You could bring, it really depends. You could bring a Delayer if you really need it, but you really don't, because the last stage has the Delay Protector. It really is up to you. You can run whatever slasher you have. It could be just a stat stick like Arlong. It really doesn't really matter. but highly recommend those 3 units as the sub-units. Doflamingo for an orb boost, Momonga for a type boost for himself, and also you have the Brook that will be able to clear President Hebe stage in order to make your runs a little bit faster. So that is going to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.